So good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. We are Linear Group presenting our milestone 2 titled Learner Communication Disorder. So next slide. Next slide. So here my members. Here are my members, starting with Miss Candy Alcantara, L'Oreal Jean Buenaventura, Vishnu Das Benjamin, and Kent Herbin Gallardo. Okay, so for today's presentation, we will discuss about the learner communication disorder. Pero bago natin siya simulan, ano ba yung learners with communication disorders? So please, next slide. Okay, so we will start to a definition. So pag sinabi kasi nating learner communication disorder, it is an impairment or the ability to receive, send, process, and comprehend concept or verbal and non-verbal and graphic symbol system. Also, when we say communication disorder, no, it may be evident in the processes of hearing, language, and speech. Ito kasing communication disorder, no, napakalaki ng impact lalo na sa mga bata because it can be developed hanggang sa paglaki nila. So ano ba talaga yung communication disorder? So kasi pag sinabi kasi natin communication disorder, no, it is a person na nahihirapan, no. Ito yung isang taong nahihirapan na i-express yung sarili nila. And ang nagiging ano nito, it can be affect how someone listens, speaks, or uses words. So for example, a child might find it hard to follow what someone is saying. So so kumbaga doon nahihirapan sila na sabihin kung ano yung nasa isip nila. I think you get it, no? So, hindi lang yon, it might also have the nahihirapan sila sa paggamit ng mga signs, mga pictures, or mga written words para ma-share yung mga ideas nila. So, itong communication disorder, this kind of a challenge or impairment na can come from problems with hearing, problems in how the brain understand the uses of language, or difficulties in saying words clearly. So ano ba yung mga impairment, and then yung ano bang disorder ba yung nakaka-experience nito? So ito, tawag dito, yung madalas na nakakaranas nito, ito yung mga kung tawagin natin ito, sorry for that word, ito yung mga tawagin nating angongo, or in layman's term, a cleft palate. So alam naman natin kung ano naman ang situation ng may cleft palate, 'di ba? Sila yung mga nahihirapan magsalita. Yeah, they're thinking clearly but hindi nila nare-receive, I mean hindi nila tawag dito, hindi nila naibibigay ng maayos dahil nga sa nahihirapan silang buuin yung word at may naiiwan na word. Because of that, no, we use communication. Alam naman natin na communication is nagagamit natin yan araw-araw. Hindi lang yan para matuto tayo, gumawa, to make a friends, and um, understand the game on a real world. Itong communication disorder is not this can be affect the child's learning. Hindi hindi lang yung child's learning ng bata, kundi pati yung emotions, kung paano sila makikipag-interact, how they connect with other people. So, uh, to present, no, to give you more briefly information, here's Miss L'Oreal Jean Buenaventura to give you some of the characteristics of learner communication with disabilities or disorders.
Okay, loud and clear ba ako, everyone? Thumbs up naman kung naririnig nyo ako ng maayos. So, thank you for that. I will now explain and talk about the characteristic of a learning with a communication disorder. So, ano nga ba yan? A communication disorder means nahihirapan isang estudyante sa basic communication skills like speaking clearly, understand what others saying, or even expressing their own thoughts. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa pagsasalita but also about using the right words, tone, or gesture when talking to others. So for example, may mga estudyanteng nahihiyang magsalita sa harap ng klase or hindi lang may paliwanag ng maayos yung sagot nila. Kahit tama naman yung idea nila, minsan hindi rin nila agad naiintindihan ang instruction ng teacher or baka nalilito sila sa sinasabi ng mga klase nila. This can lead to misunderstanding, frustration, or even withdrawal. May mga nakakaranas ba ditong nahihiya sumagot kahit tama naman yung nasa utak nila? Raise hand naman tayo dyan kung sinong nakakaranas nito. Yan. Talaga lang So, yan. Excuse me for that. Because of this struggle, naapektuhan din ng self-confidence nila. They might feel shy, embarrassed, or because of this, nag-struggle sila. Naapektuhan din yung self-confidence nila. They may feel shy, napapahiya o natatakot na baka pagtawanan sila kaya ayaw na nilang sumali sa discussion or makipagkaibigan. Their relationship in school with classmates, teachers, or even family can suffer dahil they might avoid conversation or group activities. Of course, since communication is very important in learning, sabi nga ni Mr. Giancarlo, di ba? Naapektuhan din yung academic performance nila, lalo na kung may activity, lalo na pag group work, right? Oral recitation, or anything requires clear speaking and listening. That's why mahalaga na ma-recognize agad natin ang ganitong characteristic. Early support is the key. With speech therapy, more patience and understanding, we can really make a big difference in their learning journey. Kasi nga, communication is a real life skill, and when that's affected, almost every part of their school life gets harder. Okay? Sino nang next?
Okay, thank you for that, for the explaining the characteristics, Miss Buenaventura, the learner communication disorder. So we will proceed to our third, the types and causes. So since napag-uusapan naman natin yung learner communication disorder, ano ba yung nagiging cause nito lalo na sa mga bata? And ano ba yung sa tingin natin na disorder na na-observe natin sa kanila. So next slide. Okay. So in the types and causes, nahati yan sa dalawa. So meron tayong speech disorder and language disorder. So ano ba ang pinagkaiba ng speech disorder and language disorder? So next. Okay. So pag sinabi natin kasing speech disorder, it is an impairment in the production and use of oral language, and it include disabilities in making speech, sounds, producing speech with a normal flow, and producing voice. So ang speech disorder is nahati yan sa three major types, or kung tawagin is speech impairment. So meron tayong articulation disorders, disfluencies, and voice problem. Iisa-isahin natin yan kung ano ba yung mga pinagmumulan lahat niyan kung bakit ba nagkakaroon ang isang bata. So next. Okay. So we will first the articulation disorder. So pag sinabi kasi nating articulation disorder, ito yung dito nagpa-process yung sounds, syllables, words na nagpo-form sa ating jaw, teeth, tongue, lips, and palate. So, sa lahat-lahat niyan, ang airstream niya is nagmumula din sa vocal folds natin. And it is the production of speech sounds. Pag sinabi rin kasi nating articulation disorder, no, hindi lang siya nagre-result ng errors. It can be the formation of an individual speech. So, pag sinabi kasi nating articulation disorder, hindi lang siya nagre-result ng error, kundi yung nagre-result din ng error, yung formation ng isang tao pag nagsasalita. Okay? So, some with an articulation disorder, no, nahihirapan silang maintindihan because they sounds correctly. So, kanina nabanggit ko kung kung anong disorder ba ang napapalibutan ng learning communication with disorder, which is yung may mga sakit na ngongo, or in layman's term cleft palate. So dito sa 4 types of articulation errors, meron tayo ditong substitution. So pag sinabi kasi nating substitution, dito naman is na kung saan yung one sound is nagagamit nila sa iba. So, example natin yung I see the rabbit. 'Di ba? So, sa may mga cleft palate, ang pagkakabasa nila is I T the wabbit. So, alam naman natin kung paano mag-pronounce ang isang may cleft palate, 'di ba? So, imbes na yung letter S is nagiging letter T. So, yun yung tinatawag na substitution. Kumbaga, yung isang sound na yun is nagagamit nila for another. Next is yung omission. Pag sinabi nating omission, dito naman kung saan yung sound, syllable, and word is naiiwan. So halimbawa yan, meron ako nilagay na example is I want a banana. So sa may mga communication disorder, yun nga katulad yung cleft palate, no? Hindi na naman cleft palate ang nagkakaroon ng articulation disorder. Ito yung example, I want a banana. So instead of I want a banana, nagiging I wananana. So may naiiwan na letra, may naiiwan na word, which is naiintindihan nila, they think clearly, pero nahihirapan silang bigkasin dahil nga sa disorder na meron sila. Next is yung distortion. Pag sinabi kasing distortion, ito yung mga variation na intended na sound na nagpo-produce. So halimbawa yung existence of lips, nagkakos ng incorrect. Katulad ng nagkakos ng incorrect pronunciation ng letter. So madalas kasi ang letter na nawawala ang letter na madalas na nawawala sa may communication disorder is letter S and P. So, pansinin nyo kanina dun sa may substitution, di ba, I see the rabbit, din nawala yung S. Hindi, dito, may similarities din, no? Hindi siya same, pero may similarities yung distortion and substitution. At, katulad such as S or P, yan yung madalas na nawawala. At, dito, nagkakamali ang may mga learner communication disorder. And for the last is yung addition. So ito yung when an extra sound is inserted. So sa addition, kumbaga, ito yung imbes na yung word na yun lang, halimbawa yung I miss her, is nadadagdagan siya. So nagiging I missed her. 'Di ba? May nadagdag. Instead na I miss her, I missed her. Yun yung madalas na-experience ng may mga learner communication disorder. Mostly lahat yan sa articulation talaga. So next. So for the next types of articulation disorder is yung speech fluency problems or disfluencies. Pag sinabi kasi nating disfluencies, it is a impairment that characterized by speech broken with abnormal stoppages na walang tunog. So, dalawa yan, may repetition and prolongation. Pag repetition, ito yung parang, nanginginig habang nagsasalita. So I think may naka-experience naman, no, hindi lang naman ako. Kasi ito kasing disfluencies na experience ko rin siya. When during pag nagkakaroon kami ng presentation, like yung stopping ganon. So don't mind it. Just an example lang naman. Pag sa prolongation, yan yung parang yung tawag dito, sobrang tagal, like making ganon. Actually, sa disfluencies, mostly dyan is na-experience ko talaga. So, pag sinabi rin kasi nating disfluencies or disfluencies, no? It breaks or interruption in the flow of speaking. Yan, nagiging interruption talaga siya, kaya hindi natin nasasabi kung ano yung mga gusto nating sabihin. Kung ano yung gusto natin sabihin sa mga tao at ang gusto natin i-present sa iba. So nangyayari yan, they can happen to anyone naman. Normal naman na magkaroon ng ganyang disfluencies. Pero kapag napapansin kasi natin na parang nagiging ano siya tawag dito, they can happen a lot. Maybe naman, no, maybe part of speech disorder. Baka we have disfluencies. Okay. So here are the common examples ng speech fluency problem or disfluencies. So meron tayo dito yung or a. Ito yung when someone is thinking of what to say. So yung yan madalas ginagamit yan. Actually, gamit na gamit ko yung word na yan kapag nagpe-present when someone is thinking of what to say. Yung pag wala kang pag wala kang ganong maisip kung anong gusto mo dun sa presentation, no, mostly sa students nangyayari yan, is dumadaan sila sa stage na yung ganon. Next is yung repeating sounds or words, like yung I want that, ganon. Yan naman, yung repeating sounds or words, madalas naman yan nangyayari sa mga bata, mga child. Next is yung pauses long silence in the middle of sentence, stretching sounds. Ayan, madalas din yan nagagamit ng mga students. Mostly lahat ng common examples ng disfluencies is nasa students lahat. Kasi we all know naman, kaya tayo nag-aaral, di ba, para makaano tayo dito to improve our skills. Next is in changing words mid-sentence. Yan, yung I want to, I mean, I need to go. Yung mga yung mga nababagong word, kaya hindi sila naiintindihan. Yan, mostly yung changing words mid-sentence, madalas din yan nagagamit ng may mga disfluencies. So ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng stuttering and cluttering? So sa stuttering kasi is when a person repeats sounds or gets stuck when trying to speak. Ang stutterings kasi, ito yung katulad ng sa common examples, ito yung mga person na paulit-ulit, kumbaga nai-stuck na sila when trying to speak. Parang nai-stuck sila sa kung saan sila nakatayo, then sinusubukan nila. Yun yung stuttering. Ano ba sa Tagalog ng stuttering? Ano ba to? Next is yung cluttering naman is when a person talks too fast or mixes making hard to understand. Ano? Stuttering?
Nauutal.
Ayun, nauutal. Okay, sa stuttering muna. Yun yung mga nauutal. Kumbaga, yung habang nagpe-present sila, then habang nagpe-present ang isang bata, nauutal sila kung ano yung gusto nilang sabihin. They can try to speak, pero nauutal talaga. Yung cluttering naman is when a person talks too fast or mixes words together, making hard to understand. So, sa cluttering, ito naman yung mga katulad ko, yan. Ito yung mga, actually itong cluttering mostly na ano ko siya. Then siguro hindi lang naman ako experience ng cluttering. Katulad cluttering kasi 'di ba pag sinabi kasi natin cluttering, ito yung mga taong sobrang bilis magsalita. Dito kinakabahan, nanginginig. Kaya nahihirapan din sila intindihin yung gusto nilang sabihin. So next. Okay, for the last major types of the speech disorder is yung voice problem. So, Ang voice problem, ito yung, alam naman natin ang voice problem, no? Or vocalization. It is the sound produced by humans and other vertebrates using the lungs and the vocal folds in the larynx or voice box. So, ang voice problems kasi, lalo na pagdating sa learner communication disorder, is mahirap hanapin to speak clearly. Kasi understand others or use words in the right way if they have a voice problem. It might mean their voice sounds too soft, too harsh, shaky. Yan. Yung mga voice problems yan, kapag tawag dito, yung mga karamihan kasi nagkakaroon ng voice problem is nahihirapan sila na maka-join sila sa mga discussion. Since yung mga magagaling kumanta, yan, nag-a-ask sila ng help. They might need extra support, like more some time to speak tools that na makakatulong sa kanila makapag-share ng ideas in other ways, like pictures or writing. So, ano naman yung language disorder? Next slide. Okay. When we say language disorder, it is a comprehension and expression that means a child has a trouble understanding what people say and also has difficulty saying what they want to express. So, the problem rules violation involved dito yung phonology, morphology, syntax, yan, content, semantics, or uses of language, or in layman's term, or kung, I don't know kung layman's term siya, or, what do you call that? Basta, pragmatics, yan. So, yung rules, violation na involved dyan, yan. It happened when a child struggle talaga with how words sound and are put together. Kung paano nagpo-form yung word nila and paano ba nila nagagamit yung lengguwahe ng maayos in different scenarios, in different situation. So, sa bata kasi, children with language disorder may exhibit this example. So, meron tayo dito difficulty in comprehending questions and following commands. Kung tawagin is receptive language. So, yung difficulty in comprehending questions and following commands, ito naman yung kung tawagin is pag-unawa. Then, the child may not understand what someone is asking or telling them to do. Next is yung difficulty in communicating ideas and thoughts, kung tawagin is expressive language. It means that, kasi ibig sabihin nito sa difficulty in communicating ideas, no, and thoughts, kung tawagin yung expressive language, ibig sabihin kasi yan, ang bata, pag nahihirapan magsalita, no, in their mind, they might use very few words. Nagmi-mix up yung mga sentence or nagsasalita sila ng kung ano-ano ng mga walang sense. Even if they know what they want to say, but they can explain clearly or easily. So to give you some briefly information, no, here's Vishnu Benjamin for Ken Gallardo. Causes of speech and language disorder, meron pa pala. So sa mga causes of speech language disorder, so pinagsama ko na rin siya kasi iisa lang din naman. So meron tayong brain injury which nagko-cause ng head trauma or stroke. Next is malfunction of respiratory of speech mechanism, yan katulad yung mga tongue slip, sneeze, and jaw palate. Ang malfunction naman is involved dito yung sa speech disorder kanina. Yan yung mga may mga cleft palate, kung tawagin ngongo. Next is yung physical impairments, cleft lip when the upper lip is not formed or connected correctly to allow correct articulation of sounds. So meron namang cleft palate, yan yung sinasabi ko. An opening in the roof of the mouth causing too much air to pass through the nasal cavity. So meron din vocal abuse or misuse, constantly screaming and shouting which can be damage vocal cords, no? Yung mga pagsigaw, yan. Nakakasira ng vocal abuse yan. They abuse your vocal. At nagkakos din siya ng chronically hoarse. Next. Ayan. So for identification and assessment, here's Mr. Ken Ervin Gallardo to explain that.
So hello guys. I'll discuss the identification and assessment. So let's start. To assess and identify communication disabilities involves a multi-faceted approach including physical exams, hearing tests, neurological exams, and speech languages assessments. And physical evaluation, this testing is considered to the individual sensory motor and cognitive abilities as well as their abilities to communicate. So, ito yung mga example na ginawa namin. And ayon dito, physical examination, doctor will perform a physical exam including examining the mouth and ears and nose. Ginagawa nila ito upang malaman kung may issue that may affect sa speech or hearing. So, sa hearing test, this assess how well person can hear as hearing problems can interfere with communication development. Sa neurological exam, evaluates the brain and nervous system to detect conditions that could impact speech or languages. Next, please. Sa speech and languages assessment, this measure this measures a person's ability to speak, understand, and use language effectively, including pronunciation and fluency and comprehension. Sa psychological evaluation naman, examine thinking skills, emotion, and behavior to identify any mental or emotional issue that may affect sa pakikipag-usap or communication. And that's all. Thank you.
So for the learner's equipment, first bullet is the SGD or Speech Generating Device. So ano nga ba ang SGD? Ito ay mga app na nasa tablet or gadget na tumutulong sa mga taong may speech disabilities. Ginagamit ito para makipag-communicate sila gamit ang pag-tap ng screen. So, this device help learners na hindi kayang magsalita or may problema sa pagsasalita para magkaroon sila ng voice through technology. Nakakatulong ito sa daily communication ng mga mute person. So, sa second bullet is PECS, Picture Exchange Communication System. So, ginagamit naman ito sa ng mga taong hirap sa pagsasalita tulad ng may autism, sorry sa words, autism or speech delay. Nakakatulong ito para matukoy nila kung anong gusto nilang sabihin or ipahayag gamit ang mga larawan or pictures. So sa PECS, tinuturo ito sa mga bata kung paano pumili ng pictures para sabihin kung anong gusto nila or anong kailangan nila and also kung ano ang nararamdaman nila. It builds communication skills step by step. So for the last one, the most important is sign language. So, isang paraan ng pakikipag-usap gamit ang hand sign, special expression, and paggalaw ng katawan para ito sa mga taong may loss of hearing or speech impairment. Sa paggamit ng sign language, naiintindihan natin ang tinutukoy o kung anong gustong sabihin ng isang taong may disabilities. Importante ito para makipag-communicate or makipag-communicate also sa mga deaf or mute community and also sa mga kakasabi lang ni Carlo na may cleft palate. So, ang pinakamadaling hand sign na tinuturo sa may disabilities is also health. 'Di ba? Tama ba ako? So, yun lang. Thank you. Next na.
So, for educational approach, kung paano natin i-approach yung mga students with disabilities. So, for number one is use clear and simple communication. Yan. So, pagka tayo is makikipag-communicate sa mga students natin na with disability, we need to speak slowly and clearly without exaggeration or baby talk. Need natin sila, dapat di natin sila bine-baby talk, and dapat na iintindihan nila clearly yung mga words na sasabihin natin sa kanila. And also, we need to use short and simple sentences and repeat rephrase when needed para hindi sila masyado mahirapan. And next is, also we need to be patient and give time for them and allow extra time for the learner to respond or process information first. Kasi need natin na maintindihan yung situation nila since they are a person with disabilities. Kailangan nating maging patient sa kanila. And mas makakatulong din tayo if we're going to use a multi-sensory aids like visual aids, paggamit ng mga symbols like pictures na mas madali nilang mauunawaan kasi dun yung pumapasok yung time nila na maging ano sila sa maging anong tawag dito, basta maging ano sila, maging ma-hook sila sa mga bagay kasi with person disability, may disability sila, need nila ng makakapagpa-hook up sa kanila. And yun lang.
May entertain.
Yes, may entertain yun na dali mo. Okay, for the next slide.
For the enrichment naman, rinig ba ako? Loud and clearly.
Yes.
Sorry if hindi ko makita yung mukha ko. May technical error lang. So, this is enrichment program are designed to help students, especially those with communication difficulties, to improve their community skills in ways that are enjoyable, interesting, and purposeful. Gaya ng sinabi ni Vishnu, kailangan silang ma-entertain para mas maintindihan na nila tayo. Hindi lang ito basta-basta activities. They are carefully planned para mas maging engaging at helpful sa learning ng bata. This program supports students by giving them opportunities to express themselves more clearly and confidently. Because of these activities, students develop their social skills, language development, and most importantly, their self-confidence. It helps them become more comfortable when interacting with others inside and outside the classroom. In short, enrichment programs make learning more meaningful and fun, while also addressing their communication needs of students.
Okay, so thank you for that for explaining the enrichment of learning communication disorder. So saan ba namin nakuha, bago ang lahat, no, saan ba namin nakuha lahat ng mga references na nakuha namin? So this is the reliable source that we found on website, the NACET.org and thescrib.com. Learner communication disorder. Next slide. Since we don't have a audience din naman, so we don't have a Q&A. Next slide. Okay, so for that, thank you. We're the Liliad Group and presenting again the learner communication
disorder. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you, Sir Kim.